Hey guys, welcome back to Pixelmon. A lot has happened since the first episode. I haven't done much at all in terms of training my guys or catching anything. I've mainly been saving that for videos. But I've done tons of building and the setup kind of stuff that I wanted to check off my list before I did the more exciting stuff in the mod. Mark and Andrew... I missed badly. Mark and Andrew have live streamed Pixelmon on a couple of occasions over the last week. I joined them once on Wednesday, but unfortunately couldn't make it to the other times, so they're getting pretty far ahead of me. A link to that live stream is in the description if you're interested in skipping through it. And in that live stream, I did tons of the more boring, grindy, material gathering type tasks. I got a lot of wood, I went mining, and I did a lot of the building in this treehouse to get set up before I can, go train my guys and fight bosses and gather a lot of the unique materials and items in the mod. I still have a lot more to do on the house, but it's quite livable, and there's tons of storage space, which is what really matters this early in the mod. So I won't be talking like this in every episode, but since I've never really made a Let's Play style series before, I thought I'd let everyone know what my Let's Play philosophy is, I guess you could say. So now, depending on what type of videos you like watching and what type of Let's Plays you enjoy, you may be thinking, well, Sour, you kind of just skipped over some 10-20 hours of gameplay. You're missing the spirit of a Let's Play. In episode 1, you said, this tree might be my base, and in episode 2, it pops out of nowhere. Well, I understand that, and I agree to some extent. I always try to use my best judgment to determine what should be in a video, and what should be in a live stream, and what should be completely off camera. What I think makes a good Let's Play video is where you set some goals for yourself, like for the day, some tasks that you want to complete, and you complete them. So that it ends up being about 15 to 30 minutes of well-edited highlights. Not that it needs to have jump cuts every 5 seconds, but so that you can try to avoid the more monotonous stuff. Live streams, I think, are great for getting a lot of the more monotonous tasks done, because it's hard to go mining for 3 hours to get the resources you will need for the mod in a video. It's pretty difficult to find something to talk about to fill the void also if you're planning on putting in a video. In a live stream, you can interact with the chat and you can complete this task. So it's a good medium from trying to put it in a video and doing it off camera. Sometimes there's some grunt work to be done, like hollowing out that giant apricorn farm that quite simply nobody wants to see. But if you get what I'm trying to say, I want to keep the episodes entertaining without skipping ahead and keeping the continuity of the Let's Play. Quite often I think that I'd love to hop on the Pixelmon server and, just play for half an hour or so, train my guys, catch some stuff, gather some more resources, and I always have to stop myself, because if I played this game every time I felt like playing it, I'd end up burning myself out pretty quick, and I'd never make an episode 2. And that's also what a Let's Play is all about. It's sharing the playthrough of a game. So I don't want to show up on episode 2 saying, alright guys, welcome back, I have my team of level 100s, I basically beat the game, and it's been a good Let's Play everyone, goodbye. That's just dumb. So keeping that in mind, what I wanted to get done today was to finish the apricorn farm. Ouch. You can see it's not completely grown, and I also need to add some fences, I believe, on the upper levels. I also wanted to evolve this guy into Swampert, and I'm probably going to plan my gym out a little bit. I mentioned that in the last episode. I'm thinking I'm going to make a monotype ground gym, because there are a lot of cool ground guys in this mod. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to have on my team, but maybe I'll do that later in this episode. And if there's time, I'll go hunt for some bosses to start getting some of the cool items in this mod, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is stockpile TMs and the choice items and all the things that I'll need to be successful. Alright, all of the fences are complete on the farms, as well as every level except for the yellow level has a full platform of apricorns growing, and they grow extremely quickly. I just harvested these, and about a third of them are back already, or a quarter. That's crazy. This probably doesn't even need to be as big as it is, but oh well, I got it now. It took a long time to dig this out, believe me. At least I didn't have to dig it all out. That would have taken hours and hours, but there was this large cave system here. They really go flying too. That's okay. I can stand to lose a few. Alright, well, the last thing I need to do to finish this off is to get some more glass. I stole this from a beach somewhere, so I'm gonna actually take a trip to the sand biome this time. Never been there, but I'll go find it, and I'll be back with you when I have. There's a thing here. Oh, I never saw him building it, but I think that's Mark starting his Pokeball factory that was styled after that Soviet Union factory image that he showed us in the stream. Well, now I know where that is. I'll have to check back with it later. I think at this point I've just gone the completely incorrect way, because I recall the sand biome being fairly close. And I've walked for long enough that I don't think it's in this direction. So that's a bit of a fail. I'll think I'll find a way to kill myself, and I'll be back with you soon. Ooh, Luxray. That's a good thing to kill with my Marshtomp. Level 34, perfect. I'm killing mainly Luxrays, Luxios, and Shinx because they give good attack EVs, and I want Marshtomp to be maxed out in attack because he can't learn Stealth Rock in this game. Only things that learn Stealth Rock by level up can learn it, because there's no other way to teach it to them. So he's going to be mainly a physical attacker, Earthquake, Waterfall, that kind of thing. And because of how buggy the mod is, I'm not going to care too much about EVs, per se. But I'll try to aim for some more than others. So, you know, I obviously don't want special attack on Marshtomp, so I'll try to go for things that give attack, like also Nidorino and Arbok are common things that I see around here that also give attack EVs. So I'm going to try to aim for them, but I won't care all that much. You know, I won't be keeping track of it, and I won't be heartbroken if I give it some of the wrong EVs. But I will keep it in mind. Is that going to be enough? No, not going to level up. Huh, I also forgot to mention where I got these Great Balls and Potions. They're from Shadow. Good guy Shadow gave us all Great Balls and Potions. Anyway, onward. This Arbok decided to attack me, so I might as well take it out. Again, gives attack EVs. Although it's not as safe as attacking Luxray, because Luxray usually only goes for a spark or a status move, so it's not going to damage me at all. But Arbok can do some damage, although it is generally resisted. It's probably going to use poison moves, indeed. So, not too big of a deal. I think this should be enough. It's a higher level. It's a second evolved. Let's see here. Yep, level up. Never seen Swampert in Pixelmon, so this will be interesting. How good is its model? Stretching quite a lot. Oh, not as big as I pictured. But that is pretty legit. Let's send him out. Nice. Nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now that he's fully evolved, I should probably give him a name. How do I do that exactly? I remembered there was a way. Aha! Rename. He's gonna be DJ Kips. Yeah, DJ Kips. There we go. Reference. Welcome back, guys. That took a lot longer than I thought it would to find this biome. But on the way, I realized that another good reason for coming here is to scout out a lot of the ground types, because I'm assuming that they would spawn more commonly in this biome. A golem is something I definitely considered having on my team in terms of... Nice picnic. In terms of, you know, competitive use and general tier ranking and how good it is, it's not that great, and especially in this game there are no abilities, it doesn't even have sturdy, but it's one of the only... Wow. that's pretty deadly. Anyway, it's one of the only things in this mod that is ground type that can learn Stealth Rock. And I think I want to lead with a Stealth Rocker to get those up early in the game. And it's kind of unfortunate, because basically every ground type is used for Stealth Rocks, but none of them can really learn it except for a few of the rock types. And I basically have to choose between Golem or Onyx, I believe, are the only things that learn Stealth Rock by level up and are also ground type. Well, I suppose I'll just gather my sand and get out of here. I'll try to make it look somewhat natural, not just dig a giant quarry. And, oh, didn't plan very far ahead there. And then I'll get back to the house, cook it up, and start thinking about my gym. What the building's gonna look like, and what's gonna be on my team. Alright, well, this farm is, I would say, completely done, and it takes quite a while to harvest, as I've realized. Doing it even twice, I'm already, that is a giant Luxray. I get easily sidetracked. I've only harvested that farm twice, and I'm already kind of tired of doing it, so I think I'll just go to it when I need a certain color of apricot to make a certain type of ball, because I'm not going to be using some colors as much as others. Be making a lot of Ultra Balls, and later on, wow. Just in that time, almost all of these things have regrown. Yeah, so I can't exactly farm this like I would wheat, but I'll probably be mostly getting yellow and black. Luckily I had the foresight to put those at the bottom. But that also costs a lot of iron, because I believe the recipe for an Ultra Ball only gives you 1 lid, whereas something like a Pokeball gives you 5. And there are other alternatives, such as Dusk Balls, that are quite good, and I can make it a habit of mine to generally catch things at night, so that'll work out pretty well. And the catch multiplier, I believe, is better than Ultra Balls. In the real game, at least. I don't know about the mod. But I'll probably be making a lot of Dusk Balls, so I'll be focusing on the green and the black, I believe it is, to make a Dusk Ball. Yes, the green and the black, so it's time to start sorting these chests. Ah, nice and labeled. And that marks the true final completion of this farm. So these are going to grow. All the levels are full of their respective colors. It's all covered up. The ladders are all in place. The fences are all in place. And we've got a fully functional farm here. We can harvest them, cook them up, bring them upstairs, and craft as many Pokeballs as we need. Okay, so I said I'd lay out a few plans for my gym that I plan on creating and running. In fact, most of the people currently on the server have plans to do that. I believe Andrew is planning on having a steel gym and Mark a fire gym, but that still may change. I'm not completely sure what they're planning. Which I suppose works well for me the way it is right now, because ground is super effective against both of those, but I didn't plan it that way. I didn't pull the scumbag Pokemon rival thing and get the type advantage for myself. I picked a ground team before they chose theirs, but I guess it really doesn't matter. They won't bring their gym team when they come to challenge me, I suppose, so I'll probably still get rolled over. But in terms of what I'm planning for the structure, it will probably be somewhere in this open field. I've thrown around a few concepts in my head. One would be some sharp rocks sticking out of the ground, or kind of like a fissure in the ground, where you take a staircase into the depths of the earth and there's a large hollowed out area in the ground. That would take a lot of digging, which wouldn't be fun, But that's one idea. Another is to build it above ground in the shape and style of a traditional Pokemon gym, and just have like a muddy ground type theme inside it. Somewhat like you'd see in the game. And I think that's what I may end up doing, because it'll be a smaller build in the end, and that means I'll be able to put more detail into it rather than spending all of my time trying to hollow something out underground. So that's all I've got right now for the building itself. In terms of my team, I've done a lot more thinking. I typed out a rough draft of the 6 Pokemon I will be training, as well as some planned movesets. They may be subject to change because I didn't check every single one of these moves and items to see if they are indeed viable in Pixelmon. Of course, when you're developing a monotype team, the secondary typings are very important. You want to try to have a good balance of things on your team that can counter the weaknesses to your monotype. For example, my monotype is ground, and ground is weak to ice, grass, and water. So that means if the person fighting me uses one of those 3 types on me, the worst it can be is neutrally effective, and it has a good chance of being 2 times or 4 times. Keeping that in mind, I'll step through my team here. First off, can't leave Swampert out of the team. If I had the choice, I would probably run a support defensive tank kind of setup with leftovers and EVs in HP and defense, but that gets a little ruined by the fact that the guy can't be taught Stealth Rock. So I'm thinking instead he'll be a banded physical attacker that can absorb water and ice moves fairly well, and has EVs in attack, HP, and speed perhaps, and I'll just have to try to use his typing well and switch out when I need to, because the only thing he's weak to is grass, but that will tear him apart. Next up we have either Golem or Onyx, because like I said, I want to be able to set up Stealth Rocks, and I gave him a Focus Sash just to make sure that he can do that successfully. Other than that, Golem or Onyx, haven't decided, is kind of useless. He's weak to ice and quad weak to both water and grass, so the typing doesn't help me out very much. I only want him for that one purpose, the rocks. I'll probably load EVs in speed and maybe some in attack and defense, but I really don't expect him to live very long. And before you say sour, why the hell would you give an Onyx or a Golem a Focus Sash? Remember that abilities are not yet implemented in the mod, so they lose their sturdy, and everything else loses their abilities as well. You know, even Levitate doesn't work. I can Earthquake a Gengar and kill it. Yeah, I think that needs to be added soon. But I may end up going with Onyx just because of the model in-game. Golem looks pretty derpy, while Onyx is this massive beast of a Pokemon. I think it's the biggest thing I've seen in this game. I don't know what the actual biggest thing is, but Onyx is definitely a contender. Now, Mamoswine, hard to leave him out. His ice dual typing can resist ice attacks and help me deal with grass types. I plan on giving him a Life Orb, but I don't even know if those are in the mod, so I may have to rethink that. But another physical attacker, Ice Cold Crash, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Superpower, EVs in attack and speed. Next up is Gliscor, another strong OU Pokemon, although without Toxic Orb Poison Heal, I don't know if he's going to lose some of his usefulness, and he is quad weak to ice, 2 times to water. Although he's the only defensive guy on my team, everything else is basically hyper offensive, and Gliscor can hopefully stall out some turns with Toxic Roost Protect and take some hits. I'll probably put mostly EVs in HP and defense. Next up is Camerupt, the only specially offensive guy on the team, and he's not that great. He's the only other NU tier guy on my team after Golem/Onyx, but Fire Ground is a pretty useful combination. Although he's quad weak to water, he can stand up to ice and grass and hit them hard in return with a Specs Fire Blast. I put Hidden Power Grass on there, but I doubt I'll be able to teach him that in the mod, so I'll see how that goes, and I may need to change that around at a later date. Finally, the last spot is kind of up for grabs. I haven't completely decided, but I'm thinking of using Flygon. I'm trying to follow an item clause, only using each item once, which again I may rethink and not follow. But I gave him a choice scarf. Speed is one of Flygon's strengths, so he'll be able to outspeed mostly everything with the scarf. And again, another very physically offensive set with Outrage, U-Turn, Earthquake, and Fire Punch. So that's my plan. I was also throwing around the idea of Having a couple other decent ground types that are in the mod, such as Torterra and Nidoking, I may swap them around a bit. Torterra has similar typing resistances to Flygon, being quad weak to ice, but neutral to grass and water. Geez, so many things are quad weak to ice. Ground flying for Gliscor, ground dragon for Flygon, ground grass for Torterra. Ice being carried by pretty much everything, and that's why, I guess. Anyway, that's my team. Will likely change around a bit before being more finalized, but for now, it's a good start. Maybe everything I said just made no sense to you. I really don't expect everyone to follow competitive Pokemon sets, but I also expect some people to know way more than me, and they could call me on some of the stupid things and stupid calls that I undoubtedly say and make, and I do welcome that. Let me know what I should do better, and I will do my best to listen. So, let's see if I can get to the last item on my to-do list and find a boss to fight. Sweet, I believe that is a boss Arbok in the distance, and that is pretty awesome. Oh, see you, monkey. Because, first of all, I finally found a boss. I threw a fish. I always do that. I throw an item instead of throwing the Pokeball. Oh, it's probably Obama. It's probably a Java crash. That happens a lot. That's pretty frustrating. Lag? I'm not getting any lag. Anywho, it's double awesome because I'll also be getting attack EVs, so I can feel good killing it with my Swampert. Now, while I swallow, you didn't use stockpile first. Now, while I fight this boss, to wrap up the episode, I have something pretty cool to talk about, or at least for the people that stayed to the end of the video, it may be interesting to you. Along with the release of this video, I have also released the application form that I promised for you to be able to sign up to possibly join this whitelisted server to play with and interact with us. So, if that's something that may interest you, I encourage you to fill out the form that is in the description, and I will review all entries over the next little while. What did I get? A gold hammer, TM rest, and a nest ball. Okay, not that impressive. But we made a lot of good progress this episode. We finished off our apricorn farm for good. We can go into Pokeball production now. We evolved our Swampert, or our Marshtomp into Swampert, and we did a lot of planning on our gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. In the next one, I'll probably be trying to catch some of the things that I mentioned for my gym team, and I'll also be trying to get the materials needed to build some of the machines and the mod-specific blocks and the kind of things like the PC, the healing machine, the fossil cleaning machine, and all that kind of stuff, so that I won't need to go to Pokemon centers anymore. And then I will have to go to the Nether. For that I have to find diamonds or do some annoying bucket stuff, and still a lot of stuff on the list. So I will catch you guys in the next episode, or I may live stream in between this episode and the next. But if you follow me in the various social media places, you will be informed of whatever I do whenever I do it. So I will catch you later. Bye-bye.